Okay, now we're at the home stretch here. We are going to reassemble the bob-along MTAC. So I'm going to start with the bolt. Just make sure that it's nice and lubed up. Okay, and you can put some lube on this back of the bolt, but not really necessary. So we're going to be very gentle when reinserting, because you can shred the O-rings on the edges here, specifically these front two. So very, very gentle. Okay, felt good. And we are going to put our 4 screws back in. No need to over tighten these. Okay. And we will reinstall the eyes next. Or, yeah, we'll do eyes and then we'll do LPR. So, got our eye assembly here. These are labeled left and right. Yeah, see a little R there. So, all right. Gotta make sure you have all your wires in place. As you can see, the right side matches up with the smaller, and the left side matches up with the bigger one. So we'll go ahead and install this small one first. Pop it through. Plug it in. Line it up. And these are very, very small screws, so be cautious. I believe so. There's 2 screw holes. We just got to see which one's which. Okay, so the actual eye screw goes in the right side hole, and the eye cover screw goes through the left side hole. And very, very gentle on that screwdriver there. And we will pop our eye cover on. Again, no need to over tighten. And we will install the right side eye, but we will wait to put the feed neck back on. Okay, that's right there. And this time it should be the left side hole for the screw. As you can see on this side, the eye does protrude, so don't get freaked out about that. And I realized we forgot the ball detent on this side. So for the detent here, round side down, and spring goes in the channel there. Okay, now we can reinstall the LPR. Now the reason I do the eyes before the LPR on reinstallation is these actually feed under the LPR, so it'd be a pain. Okay, LPR here. Let's see. So your small metric O-ring lines up at the hole here. So this weird proprietary seal goes on the bottom, and your fitting right here should be on the top side when you put it down. You just want to make sure when you're here, you know, wires are still free but secure. So plug in this hose. And just be very, very gentle with these screws. I typically use the screwdriver on the bottom here, just so you know for a fact you're not going to over torque it. And kind of like a tire, tighten it in a star pattern, just so you know everything's going to be lined up correctly. Okay, and we'll just give those the tiniest little bit of torque. These screws strip out so easy it's not even funny. So I have replacements, like I said, but they're still a bitch once you strip them. Okay, so now we have bolt, eyes, LPR. We can go ahead and reinstall the frame, which the only things we really have to worry about here is when we reinstall, we do not want to pinch these wires, and we want to feed these wires through the frame very, very gently. Now, if you kind of get those wires started in here, you can take the pick or a thin Allen key and just fish them through there, okay? And now we can go ahead and plug the connector in. All right, so that's secure. So now that we have the cords through and plugged in, I'm going to flip it this way, because now the only thing we have to worry about is putting this on without pinching. All right, so just kind of go at it at an angle and then put it forward like this. All right, no resistance there, and I can look into the groove and see that the wires are not pinched. Okay, so we have that in order, and we will reinstall our screws. And this thing is so overbuilt, I don't think there's a single screw on here that you need to over tighten. Like, you have four screws holding your frame on, 4 screws holding your bolt in. It's ridiculous. Okay, let's give this a little bit of torque with the ball end. And we will go ahead and plug our battery in, test that everything is in place. Beautiful. Okay, now we will reinstall our HPR here, which is as simple as taking this fat screw, popping it through. Just make sure you lube this. It is a sealing O-ring. Static, but sealing. He used a fat screw for this, so do not be afraid to tighten down on this one. It's a little snug. Okay. And then we will put our feed neck back on, which also doubles as our eye cover. So that pops right on there. There is no detent on this side, so don't think that you forgot it. Okay. After all that, the only things left is to put the frame on, and it does use a Tippmann stock attachment if that's the way you decide to go. So that is pretty much it. I will just be doing one last video testing it. So yeah.